Hello and welcome to a very quick news piece here on the X2 Collective YouTube channel. Today we're going to be rounding up the recent Medicom MAFEX previews and looking at a few galleries as well of the figures that we do have in hand. Currently, joining me as ever for this is our very own Trevor162, so please say hello, Trevor.
Hello.
And there we go. So let's jump straight into things today. We're going to be starting at the top of the show with the MAFEX Iron Spider. Of course, the Infinity War version here, not the Endgame one. So this gallery here that you're going to be seeing images from is put together by our very own Ivan Martinez, who's done an absolute stellar job with this guy here. So it is the number 81 release. It comes with 12 total hands that you can see here in the plastic insert shot. Of course, it comes with a back plate, which contains the spider arms. There's 4 total feet. You can see 2 obviously attached to the figure and 2 waiting there in the plastic. 2 unmasked, I should say 2 masked heads, and 1 unmasked. And of course, he is out now. So I'm going to throw this right over to Trevor. What are your thoughts on this guy, mate? And is it something that you'd love to add to your collection?
This paint looks amazing. I mean, I didn't pick up the SH Figure Arts version, which is usually my go-to for Marvel Universe stuff, and because I didn't really love the spider arms, the mechanical arms on it. Lame. Now these look jointed and movable, and which is really super cool. And man, the paint is just really nice on this. It's got that
side by side with, like you say, the fig arts. That paint is what's doing it. It's just that nice metallic sheen, where the other one is just a bit, like you say, the fig arts are normally the go-to, but it just looks a bit dull, a bit, lackluster, whereas this guy here, really brings the visuals.
I like the proportions better. I think the head looks a little bit more in proportion than the art Spider-Man sometimes do. Not sure about that unmasked sculpt. I guess we'll take a look at some other shots here. But,
so that's a good cue. Let's have a little look here. So again, it's just a shot in the box. We have got, obviously, everything that you're going to be seeing here is a full gallery on our site, which will have the descriptions down, the links in the description below, so we do get a closer look at that head sculpt. It's not an amazing likeness, I will say. Obviously, at this sort of scale, it rarely is. One thing of note, actually, in relation to those spider arms, so far today on the day of recording, we've seen a lot of cases where people have snapped the joint straight out of the back. So whether it's
the problem with MAFEX sometimes.
That's the trouble.
More brittle plastic. For some reason, and I've seen a lot of that happening with some other figures that I've seen come out too. I don't own any of these, so I don't know firsthand, but yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, same here. I can only have a kind of report on what I've seen in the various MAFEX groups I'm in. But whether it is a larger issue with the quality control on this figure, which I have to say perhaps is part of their track record, but alternatively, the arms are such where you do want to perhaps push them, to the limit. You do want to try and get some of the movie poses out of them. And
could
maybe
just be a ham hands issue. Man.
Yeah, it may just be a case where people are trying to push it a bit too far, and that sadly is the result. Thankfully, though, all of Ivan's shots, so far nothing has broken his end, which is fantastic. But I mean, under the light in here, you can just see that shot on the right-hand side. Just the gleam off the armor just looks absolutely lush. So another very competent release from them. And here's just another image there where Ivan has paired it up, of course, with the Mark 50 figure arts release from Bandai. So I know this guy is, I think he's sold out a long time ago whenever the pre-orders first opened for this guy. But people are now starting to get their pre-orders fulfilled. So hopefully we'll start seeing more shots of him doing the rounds. And hopefully he will become, more available to those who did miss out on him. We're going to keep it going. We've got a lot to cover in this episode, so we're going to throw it across to the Michael Jordan preview. So what were your thoughts when you first saw this doing the rounds in the last few days, mate?
This is kind of a surprise as far as I know, right? From MAFEX. This first basketball figure, which, I mean, appropriately, it's got to be Michael Jordan.
Of course.
Looks great, man. I mean, these sculpts, I mean, it's not 100%, but boy, the paint looks really good.
Yep.
And which, I mean, coming from where we were just talking about the unmasked Spider-Man, which is a little weak.
Yeah.
This looks really good.
Not
very a basketball fan, but man, this could be fun to play with.
Again, I mean, I was going to touch on that point as well. Obviously, being myself from the UK, it is a thing where basketball isn't as prevalent over here. But again, I think he's someone who kind of transcends, the sport and is a popular culture icon as much as he is just a sports icon, which obviously is why, these things obviously are coming about. So just to go through the basics with this guy, he is going to be coming in April of next year. The price listed there for 10,000, I should say just over 10,000 yen, which is a rough translation to $100, £80. Obviously, that will differ once he goes up in the West. And we have seen a few places start to list him so far today. So if you are watching this, we'll try and get some pre-order links for you down in the description. So yes, he was first revealed through magazine scans, which increasingly seems to be the way that these things go. You know, you get the first little drip feed from a magazine scan, and then, you know, the companies themselves come out and release official images. And nice touch, you do get the Spalding basketball accessory piece with him here. Yeah, I've got to agree with you on the head sculpts. They do look fantastic. I've seen a few people asking for the tongue out one. That hasn't been shown, and I don't think that is part of this. But even so, a very competent release. It's interesting to see. I mean, I haven't seen final word yet whether the outfit, the actual jersey, whether that is a cloth material, whether it's a sculpted cloth with a sculpted plastic, I should say, with a cloth texture.
That looks cloth. I mean, that's folding.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
it's definitely cloth. Yeah.
So interesting to see, you know, more cloth figures coming out. Obviously, we know Mezco generally have that.
Yeah, this opens up a lot for MAFEX. Really.
Yeah, cool. And we're seeing it in use as well in the MAFEX Hush, the Batman, which we'll get to later on, with the cape as well being cloth. So yeah, I mean, if this is the way things are going, and we start to see, you know, cloth incorporated into more figures, you know, it's only a good thing for us as collectors. So like I said, the full story, the full gallery, all the information is on our site.
We're not sure about the sneakers on that one, right?
No, so yeah, just a point I should have made, yeah, just before we crossed over. In the original magazine scan, he is shown with both the black Air Jordans and a white pair. All the images since only seem to show the white pair. So whether that's just something to be revealed down the line, perhaps an exclusive release, we're not sure, but obviously we will keep you updated. But yes, on your screen right now is, of course, the Batman Hush, which I would say is easily the most anticipated out of the two. I saw your comment earlier saying best Batman ever. So please do elaborate. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, this looks incredible. I mean, proportion-wise, this is based on the Jim Lee drawing, obviously. Who's, you know, he's Jim Lee. He's great. And I just love everything about it. I love the coloring. I love the logo. I love the size of the ears and the cowl. It could be a little, but that's the Jim Lee style. This, again, with the sculpt, that looks beautiful. I mean, that sculpt looks great. And we are talking about a comic book version, so I mean, you know, you don't have to match up with an actor or anything like that. But boy, it looks really, really nice.
Yeah, man. Like you say, the colors.
And a wired
image. Yeah, awesome. Another thing to say, the cloth wired cape, another really awesome standout feature. We will, of course, have more images following this, but let's just quickly run through the basics. So the list price that we have is just over 7,000 yen there. So again, a rough translation, $75, £60. Again, they do also, you know, change. That's just a rough, straight up translation. So you do get two masked sculpts here. You get one unmasked head that you can see there on the right-hand side. The grapple gun plus the line. Now, one thing to point out with the grapple gun, it's not a accessory that pops into a waiting hand, but it is in fact part of the hand itself. So we did touch on, just before we came on air, you know, the plastic used in these figures is a bit harder than some of the others. So maybe that's just a way to counteract that, you know, rather than you having a bit of a fight with the figure.
Right.
I welcome it personally. I have, you know, many figures, Marvel Legends, where they can be a bit of a pain to get the accessories in properly. But also we do get the Batarang here, of course, and the magazine scan that you're seeing on your screen. We first picked that up from Last Chance Toys, so many thanks for those guys for making that available. And of course, he's going to be available in April 2020, exactly the same as the Michael Jordan. So let's take a closer look. So here we go. That is the unmasked head sculpt there. Again, very competent, looks awesome. It looks very much so that the lower half of the face is something you can swap out between, you know, the grimace at the top there, just for the more plain expression, I should say. One thing I will just point out, you can see on the head sculpt on your right hand side where the cloth cape then comes in, just above the back logo, that there does look a little rough. Now that is me being very picky and very perfectionist. Of course, this is a very early, you know, prototype figure we can imagine. Hopefully that's something which does, you know, kind of get touched up.
It's like somebody just didn't tuck that little thread in there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's all it is. I'm hoping that is, you know.
Seam, but I mean, you know, again, it's $75. You know, it's cloth and wired. It's gonna, you know, it's not gonna be perfect.
Oh, of course, there's gonna be some kind of rough edges.
Yeah, that looks like just whoever photographed it didn't bother to.
Yeah, more likely than not. Again, that's my.
But the
my
articulation
mind.
is great. I mean, I just picked up that MAFEX Spider-Man, the comic book Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
Venom, and I think the Miles version too. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I think I was drunk. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the articulation on that, I've seen pictures, just unbelievable, as Spider-Man should be. But this looks incredible, even for the bulk of it. Just looks really, really.
I think they've really got those joints down. The knee joint in particular that you see in action there. Yeah, they look fantastic. They have that whole range of motion. I just love the muted color palette here. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, and that
with
yellow,
the nice details in the muscle areas, you know, to accentuate.
Yeah, really nice shadowing, you know, just to bring out the sculpt underneath. We've said it before in the previous shows, where sometimes, you know, you can have a great sculpt if the paint isn't there to bring it to the forefront, and then obviously the figure's going to suffer. This looks to have the best of both worlds, a very competent sculpt, and, you know, even better paintwork on top, just to bring it all together. So yeah, one of the, you know, more anticipated reveals, we should say, so far. Again, just to reiterate, it is coming in April 2020. So let's go back to another Jim Lee figure. Now, this obviously, guys, this isn't new. This has been previewed several months back. We've already seen them out on display at Toy Fair. But we thought we'd just include them in part of our MAFEX preview episode today. So again, $60 to $70 roughly. You got your smoke and visor effect there, which is a fantastic touch. I'm a massive fan of that. You get 2 full beam effects, the red tint glasses that you can see on the bottom sculpt. And yes, the sculpt does appear that you can take off the bottom half and switch out, as you can see again, like the Jim Lee Batman, that kind of grimace and more standard plain face. So this guy is going to be a January 20 release. Now, this being X-Men, is it something you'd like to pick up if you get the chance?
Well, yeah. So now I picked up the Wolverine MAFEX, and this looks great. I've had a hard time finding the Marvel Legends version, which is decent, but it's hard to find, especially new. And this looks even better with all the accessories. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go back and see what I can do about picking this one up, because this looks great.
Yeah, it's just nice touches. I love the kind of the visor hanging around the neck. I think that's a fantastic little touch. The smoke and visor, like I say. So, yes, just to quickly jump onto our final figure there, quite abrupt, I do apologise. We are onto the MAFEX Shazam, which is, of course, from the film earlier this year. Now, I personally haven't seen the film. I don't know, did you get a chance to go see it?
I did not. It's should be out direct to, well, I mean, DVDs and Blu-rays and.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long. It has been, you know, a fair few months now since it is on the big screen. So we are just going.
Just never got around to it.
Yeah, same here. So we are now just going from, you know, kind of trailers, I suppose, in terms of our perception. But I mean, just to, you know, talking purely about the figure here, it looks great. Another competent sculpt from those guys. Again, not 100%, but very, very close for the price you're getting. So again, $70. These MAFEX Line, they are around 6 inches. That's what you're looking at here, 6.3 inches with a fabric cape, which, like we say, now seems to be the trend with MAFEX, which is fantastic. This guy does come with some great accessories. So the cell phone, a drinks can and a case, the lightning chest piece that you can see in full effect there, and there are 3 face portraits here. The great thing about the portraits is they are all very different in the emotion that they express. So this guy is a February 20 release. So I think we have some more images to look at here. So yeah, what were your thoughts when you first saw this guy? Is it something that you would like to dip your toe in and start picking up maybe?
Yeah, this is weird. Like, I was a big fan of the TV show back in the 70s. And,
oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's an entirely different Shazam. And I thought he was an odd pick, but I guess he pulled it off, and it worked out. Especially they're going for that feel of the little kid in a big, body, and this is good. I mean, some of these sculpts look good, some of them look a bit odd, but it's almost like the Paul Rudd Ant-Man. Like, he's got a very expressive face, and it's really hard to capture that at this dimension and with the paint that they can pull off at this scale too, on a mass production version. So, I mean, with that in mind, it looks really good. The suit looks great. Again, the accessories sound great. I mean, for $75, I mean, that's a high price point for, you know, a 6-inch figure along the lines of Mezco and things like that. But looks pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Again, I think it's the accessories, like like we say, that price point, they are helping to kind of justify, and obviously the 3 portraits. Like I said, I wouldn't consider any of them to be fantastic, but they are all competent, and like I said, it is nice to have 3 variations, so you can then kind of get very distinct either recreations or your own poses if that's what you're into. I will say across the body there, the sculpt work on the actual costume looks fantastic.
Yeah.
For the size, we must never forget the scale of this guy. So like you say, 6 inches, you are getting a really awesome sculpt job there. So again, this isn't a new reveal. It is back from a couple of months ago, but the way things are going at the minute, MAFEX is big news. So we thought, why not? Let's have another look at this guy and include him in our review. So here is the release schedule essentially for these guys. So next year looks to be a very big year for MAFEX. Of course, we're going to kick off with the Jim Lee Cyclops, and then the month after that is the Shazam. And then in April, we have Michael Jordan and the Hush Batman figure. So like I say, very, very strong. Out of the 4, again, if I had to put you on the spot and you could only pick one of these, where are you going to fall on that?
Oh, contest. It's Batman.
Of course. A bit of a non-question, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that Batman does seem to be blowing a lot of people out of the water. A very interesting choice, for a character.
It's not something that you can get from anybody else currently. I mean, nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman, with that Jim Lee style. So.
Yeah, so a nice way to differentiate themselves. Obviously, we said about the cloth accessories, which is something which excites us as collectors. When done right, we should say when done correctly, they can really, really, take a figure onto a whole nother level.
I will say that I think the Michael Jordan is probably going to be a great seller, though. I just think it looks really good, and a lot of basketball fans. So
indeed. Yes. So like we touched on, earlier, he's obviously an icon that transcends not only the sport, but obviously, pop culture as well. I know I've seen a few people joking, saying about Space Jam recreations. Here we come. So That's the thing. Yeah. So there's a lot you can do with it. So whether you're a basketball fan, fantastic. If you're a Looney Tunes fan, well, hey, fantastic. There's a lot to love here, and it looks to be a very strong, first half of the year for MAFEX. So that is going to do it for us today. We just wanted to pull together the most recent reveals in the Michael Jordan and, of course, the Batman Hush, and just couple them with some of the earlier previews, of course, the Shazam and the Cyclops. Now, all of these guys we anticipate to see more of as we get closer and closer to Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con, I should say. So, yeah, many, many thanks, as ever, to Trevor for joining us. So I say thank you to Trevor. Which is your cue to say something, I don't know what. And of course, we're going to wrap it up. So we'll put the links for everything you've seen so far in the description below, and we're going to pop a few links on your screen right now. So many thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you've liked anything you've seen in today's video. And we will see you soon here on the Absolute Collective YouTube channel.